Hello everyone, Old Man Cam here again, back with another quick and dirty review for a game that I played in 2019. Today, the game that I would like to cover is a fan favorite of mine, Neurovoider. Neurovoider is a top-down chump that is also a roguelike, an indie title in which you play as one of three different types of robots, where you can mix and match your parts to create new combinations to better take on your enemies. Like I said myself, Neurovoider is one of my fan favorite games. It's a game that I feel like I'm very good at and can go back to at any time, but it is a very flawed game. And so let's talk about the flaws first. Art style wise, Neurovoider has the aesthetic that you would expect from an indie retro styled game. But at times, the screen can be so flooded with things that it's hard to understand what's going on. Anybody that has played Neurovoider or seen somebody play Neurovoider for the first time can understand exactly what I mean. Another big flaw is the fact that although you can get new weapons from enemies, you can pick things up. You can only switch weapons between stages, which I think is a lost opportunity there. I get why they do it, because if you happen upon something that's really really good, you still got to get to the end of the level with the stuff that you have. It adds a new layer of difficulty to the game. Another bad thing about it is that some of the game's bosses are ridiculous, especially the ones that fight in parts. Seeing as you can only target one part at a time, you have to weaken it before you can actually do damage to the boss. Some of the places don't really allow you to get out of the way. There's no way to predict their movements or where their shots will go. And it kind of feels like a false sense of difficulty if you don't have the right weapons. But let's move on to the positive. Oh, whoa. One more negative. One more negative is that once you find your playstyle in the game, it's pretty hard to deviate from that, and anything but that thing is very, very hard to play. There are some weapons in the game that feel rather useless. I'm looking at all the poison weapons don't feel good to play as because it takes so long for enemies to die. Also, you spend a lot of time in the game running from enemies, not just with that weapon, but with most weapons because they can overwhelm you very quickly, especially the melee robots that rush you down. You're constantly on the run from them. Now let's go to the pros. The game is very easy to pick up and play. You can go through an entire run through in less than an hour. If you know what you're doing, you can get it down pretty low. I've seen speed runs of sub 20 minutes. I myself can do it run in about 20 or 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the weapons I get. The soundtrack is by far the greatest thing about the game. The album, I don't remember who it's by. Let me look it up real quick. The Wrath of Code by Dan Terminus is a fantastic album. And the way that they use it in the game, because the game soundtrack is only the album, the way they use it is very, 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 very good. My only gripe is that because it's a game that's meant to be speed ran, you don't get to hear a lot of the music. That's the same thing that I talked about when I pointed out one of Dan Terminus's Wrath of Code songs in my top 10 songs. It was top songs of all time. I'll put a link up there that you can not there that you can click on. But all in all, it's a very flawed game that I enjoy a lot. I feel like I got my money's worth out of it, even though I don't think I paid a lot for it. And it's a good game to pick up and play for just a few minutes. With that, I give Neurovoider a C+. I'll see you tomorrow.